Greetings everybody, welcome back to Poke Relaxing. Today we have a video where I will examine a new item that I have never used before. It's a supply for protecting booster packs, and I'll tell you a little bit about kind of why I ended up ordering these, and then we'll take a look at them and see how well they work. So I'll just give you a little bit of the box there. There's the this is a sleeve of the acrylic cases that came in a sealed case of, I think, like 6 of those. But so before us we have booster packs. As you know, if you watch this channel, I love booster packs. I love keeping them sealed. I love trying to get kind of older, valuable ones. And as part of that, you know, I love to protect them and make sure they're not going to be abused. And I have to say, I see a lot of, you know, well, not a lot, but I see booster packs that are displayed at card shows and stuff, and people are not doing a great job of taking care of these things, in my view. They oftentimes will just sort of have them, typically in a, see if I have one. I thought I had one. But basically like it's called a semi-rigid, semi-rigid card saver. That's like kind of a flimsier plastic than what you would have in a top loader like this. That's what you use to submit cards for grading, and it's quite a bit bigger than a booster pack. So they'll stick it on there, and then they'll put like a, you know, like one of these. This is not the right size, but it's a similar concept. You know, one of these just Mylar bags to wrap it all up, and that is, you know, an okay way to store or to sort of ship packs. For example, if you sell them and you want to mail them off to somewhere, if you're sending those packs in to be graded, that's an okay way to do it. But in my view, it's not really a sane way to store packs for the long term if you're holding them in your collection or your inventory. And so, you know, when I started buying kind of higher dollar booster packs, I went on a hunt for some nice kind of harder acrylic cases like the one you see here, and I found these, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 months ago, and ordered I think 10 of them. They were not cheap. I had a coupon because it was a website that was being promoted by a YouTuber that I watch, who is it, Pokebeard, was kind of, you know, advertising for these guys, and there was a coupon you could use for, I think, 10% off or so. And so with that coupon, I think it was something like $11 a piece for these guys. If you bought 10 of them, it was more, you know, more than $11 if you just bought 1 or 2 or 3, I think. But if you got 10, you got a price break. So $11 for one of these makes them pretty expensive. I do like these aesthetically. Like, they're very nice. The way that this thing goes in is pretty clever. You know, sort of, it makes a real seamless looking design. And there are little magnets to hold that in. So overall, I think this is actually a really solid case. Only thing is, you know, if you have a lot of booster packs that you want to protect, paying $11 per case is pretty cost prohibitive, and I'm not sure I'd want to put every booster pack I want protected in a case that costs that much. But certainly for, you know, this level of booster packs is probably, I don't know, $100, maybe $150, $200 booster pack. But, you know, you got a booster pack like this, which is a Sun and Moon base set. You know, this is probably, I don't know, $13 pack or something like that if you want to protect that, or something like Evolving Skies, which is, right now it's a $28 pack. Spending $11 on a case for that does not make a whole lot of sense, especially if you have like a lot of them. I don't have too many right now of those, at least that are, not in sealed boxes, but um, I hope to get lots of packs that I want to protect. So I kind of was on the hunt for a solution, and in particular, I wanted to make sure I could protect these guys, which are new acquisitions. And these are, $200 packs right there. So I was hoping I could get some more of these, at least for these big dollar ones. But when I went to go to the same site that I ordered them from, they were sold out. And I had no idea when they're going to get them back. I didn't really contact them. And don't really want to chase anybody, but maybe they're going to be back in stock soon. Maybe they'll never be back in stock. I just don't know. But it was disconcerting, so I went looking for other options, and I scoured eBay for, acrylic cases for Pokemon booster packs. And like the cheapest one I could find was basically over $10, maybe a little more than $10, and it wasn't one that I particularly was fond of. A lot of them seem to have like magnets kind of on four corners. So there's like four dots, one on each of the corners, and I don't really like that very much. So I checked my supplier, where I've gotten a bunch of my supplies from, wholesale in the past few years. Some of their supplies I like a lot, like those Pokemon booster box acrylic cases. I think those are fantastic. Like, I think quality-wise, they're probably among the best out there, and price-wise, they're much better than average. So those were a big win. Top loaders from that place I like too. Penny sleeves I was not a fan of, so I didn't really order any more of those after I kind of tried them out. So I want to show you here what we got. So here they are inside. Alright, so you're going to see what these look like, and then we're going to kind of open one up and try it out. So here it is. So first impression is this feels thicker. It's quite a bit thicker, I think. Yeah, well, it's just maybe, I don't know, a centimeter or two, or maybe I mean a millimeter or two thicker. It is thicker, but not quite as much as I can see there, the gap between the bottom of each. So they do feel like they're probably going to be a little bit roomier to accommodate a thicker pack. Now, interestingly, these packs are very thin. There's either 10 or 11 cards in your average Pokemon booster pack, but I brought some of these other packs. They're sports cards packs because they have 14 cards in that case, and these have 8 cards, but they're sort of thicker cards. So I was going to try those out as well and see what we see. So they are a bit thicker. Will probably accommodate slightly thicker packs. In terms of quality, I mean, it's an acrylic case. What can you say? It's a nice clear plastic. And there's a kind of a little bit of a scuff mark there. I'm sure that would probably come off if I had like a microfiber towel. I was just kind of rubbing it with my finger there, and it mostly came off. So that's not a huge problem. All right, so as you can see, there is one kind of large magnet on this one. There's not one on 4 corners, and there's not one kind of hidden in the sides like these other ones that I have. So this looks just like a mag holder for like a single card, and those are very popular. People seem to really love those. I don't really like them very much for single cards because I just think they kind of have the potential to open up, like if you're shipping them to somebody, so I generally won't use them. But I think for the packs here, they do seem to be pretty nice. All right, So basically, I can reach that. There it is. If I can, so basically, you see there's little tabs there, and they just go in there. Actually, which way? This goes like this, I think. Yeah, and then it shuts magnetically. So let's just take kind of a standard. Now these are going to be a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fold these, like this, to get them in. But I'm gonna start with just a standard Sun and Moon Air pack. So I am noticing it's pretty roomy in there. Like it's not. It's definitely not snug in any way, and because it's so thick. It probably has, yeah, it's going to have room, up and down as well. So if you shake it, you can hear it moving a little bit. So that's definitely, I think, I think there's two ways to think about that. Like one is, if it were more of a snug fit, I think you might have a hard time kind of, with these crimped or these sort of long hanger packs, and they kind of go out a little bit. You might have a bit of a problem getting in here. Also, on the more snug holders, like this one is pretty snug, although it's actually got quite a bit of room left to right, just up kind of top to bottom. It doesn't have as much travel as that one, but there are cases that are quite a bit more snug, I think, and sometimes it stresses me out a little bit putting cards into cases that are more snug like that. So if you're worried about that and you want kind of a little bit of room in there, this is probably a good one for you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, overall, I think it's certainly a great case for these lower dollar packs. Let's try the long pack. Let's see what that's going to fit like in here again. There's no way you can really fit it in because it hangs out over the top here with the stuff on top, but you just bend that back, and this is actually how they will actually, you could kind of bend it, like not all the way down, but just sort of halfway, go like that, or you can bend it all the way down, and then it actually becomes quite short. But I actually think that that sort of bent part on the top like acts as kind of a spring, and might, yeah, sort of push the pack to the top like that, so you don't have as much top to bottom travel. You still have the long way travel of this. So this if you're storing a lot of packs like this that are the long packs, you might want to maybe get a little like piece of styrofoam or a little piece of bubble wrap in there, something like that. I want to see how this fits, how this long pack fits in this guy. Now this, again, is shorter, so it is going to have to be bent or wrapped around the back there. So my worry is like it's too snug and it kind of unbent itself. So yeah, actually not so great in this one. I don't want to catch that edge there, but yeah, honestly, when you have to bend that over like that, it kind of doesn't fit in any pack that's sized for a modern booster or for a non-hanging booster. So I don't know, that just might be a problem with storing that kind of pack. I think I've seen maybe acrylics that are tall enough that they can accommodate like this, so you don't have to bend it at all. And that might be something that I have to do if I want the perfect fit for these hanging packs. But I will say for the sort of normal booster packs, which again is most of the packs out there, it seems to be a pretty solid fit. I definitely wouldn't have any issues storing all of my standard size booster packs in these things. trotting them out at shows and, you know, pricing them up. You might want to, if you get something like this, you might want to hang on to this thing, which was the kind of packaging it came in, because, you know, it's kind of perfectly sized for it. I wonder, I'm sure I have like graded card holder bags that would fit this, but they wouldn't be like precise fits. So this actually, that might be pretty close to. This is a perfect fit sleeve for a PSA slab, but that actually looks pretty solid right there. So I don't know, I might be hanging on to those. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I put this in a fitted PSA sleeve. Actually, I don't think it's going to fit. It's too wide. Because PSA slabs are quite thin, where these are very thick. So it's not going to fit there. If you have a non-fitted sleeve or bag, you know, for a graded card, it probably almost certainly would fit, especially if it's something that would fit a BGS holder, because those are much thicker and wider than PSA holders. So something that will fit one of those probably will fit this. But yeah, there you have it. There is a pretty solid and, you know, cost effective. Like, I think I would probably, so I got these wholesale. I had to buy a case of them, and my per unit price was quite good at the case quantity. I was trying to think like what I would sell these for, and I'm not really sure exactly, but probably like $5 or $6, I would think, would be what I would sell these for. So that's quite a bit cheaper than anything you can find on eBay. I think I saw some on eBay where if you buy like 10, it was like maybe $7.50 or $8. So, and I don't know what the quality is on those, but and those are the ones that had the magnets and the 4 sides, which I don't really like the look of. I like the look of these quite a bit better, especially if you're kind of used to mag cases for individual cards. I think you would like these aesthetically. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking of actually kind of putting these up on eBay, maybe at like, I don't know, $7 a piece or something, with some kind of quantity break, since there's not really anything up there that's that cheap for protecting these booster packs. At least not that I could find relatively easily. So maybe there is something, but you got to search harder than I did for it. But anyways, now I have a good way to protect a lot more packs than I did before, and that is a great thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed that, and maybe you want to see the rest of these packs too. I think I showed the Sun and Moon base and the Evolving Skies. Oh, actually, I want to try them sports cards as well. But I have Sun and Moon Burning Shadows, another Sun and Moon base, and I have Evolutions XY pack. I'd love to have a booster box of that stuff, but can't find one for the right price, so I keep looking. So let's try one of these baseball packs. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah. I think that's going to close, but yeah, sure enough. That's actually a really nice fit. Like, it's just the acrylic is just thick enough, the space in there, to perfectly kind of fit this pack, so it doesn't really move around much in there. So it's almost like the perfect pack, or perfect protector for this kind of pack, which is, this is a standard Topps flagship hobby baseball pack. So pretty cool there. There's a lot of variety though in like sort of size of packs in sports cards, so you know, not every pack will fit. Let's try this one. I don't know if I have any like kind of high dollar baseball packs, like modern baseball packs. I mean, I have lots of boxes that are pretty valuable, so the packs inside would be valuable, but I don't have them opened, so I have no individual packs to protect. But that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, I definitely have to think about that. Yeah, I don't really collect like modern baseball packs that are high value. I collect lots of vintage, but they would not be appropriate because they're really like, they're just the size basically of the card. So they'd be like way down here. So they would not be good. However, if they made these for those and like made the size like this high, like there'd be a huge market for that. Not a huge market, actually. I shouldn't say. There would be a lot of people. Not a lot of people. There would be some people like me who are like really excited about that product and really want to have it, but I don't know if they'll ever make that because there's just not that many collectors of vintage sports card packs and like non-sports card packs. So all this stuff is for, you know, Pokemon sized things, of which there are many more collectors. All right, folks, that's what we got for today. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there, and we will see y'all neall next time. Until then, stay relaxed. Bye now.